show you what we're looking at here. So you can just see glinting in there the liquid honey that they're making and storing here. When the bees make enough honey, we can take a harvest from them, making sure that we leave enough for them to get through the winter and the spring. So this is just the beginning of the urban season, starting to make honey. There are 740 apiary sites within a 10-kilometre radius of here, right in the middle of Bermondsey Street. And that's more than double the national average. And of course, London isn't making any more green space. We have to make better use of the green space we have to have more forage provision for all pollinators, because the honeybee is just one of 250 native bee species in the UK. Check to make sure she's not promenade on the queen excluder itself. These slightly raised cells from the middle are drone cells. So here's a male bee. Actually, it's not a male bee, has been born there. There's another worker bee clearing it out. Remember that the life of a summer worker bee is only about 35 or 40 days, and in that time they get through an incredible amount of work, and of course at the same time they're bringing new bees into the world. So there's a huge cycle of bee reproduction throughout a whole year, and it's estimated that each hive, just to survive, needs 250 kilos of nectar and 50 kilos of pollen. So that's 250 kilos of their carbohydrate and 50 kilos of their protein just to survive.
Yes. It's going to be very slow though. I don't think it's going to be big.
So we feel really acutely that living in this city where things are a delicate balance in nature because they're under pressure from so many directions, it falls to us to really plant for our bees to offset their presence in the environment, but also to create templates that other people can copy very, very easily. And we're very keen on marginal plantings that don't occupy, particularly formal garden spaces.
There's a direct link between bees and loss of their wildflower habitat, so we know that 97% of wildflower meadows have been destroyed in Britain, and that's just an enormous loss of nectar basically and colour from the countryside. So places like our lawns and our road verges become much more important for those. And we know that, for example, the average domestic lawn through Plant Life's Every Flower Count survey, we know that the average lawn produces enough nectar sugar to sustain just over 1,000 honeybees a day. It's about cutting down on the cutting down and letting those flowers flower and do their job and giving them time to do that. We've particularly in Britain, we're very obsessed with a neat and tidy look, and we love getting out with our lawnmowers and trimmers and cutting everything back. But if we let them grow, they provide that resource. That resource becomes available for them.
finally get the crown board on. So this is a breeding nucleus where we test queens to make sure that they're doing a proper job. We don't need lots of bees to do that, we just need a few. Food frame, it's heavy. So there it goes.
Scientifically, we're very worried about this moving bees around the world, and if the virus pandemic causes us to rethink that, that's a very good thing actually. There's huge world trade in moving bees from Australia to North America, moving bees from Egypt to the Middle East, all of this by air, so it's a huge carbon cost, and for honeybee populations it's kind of a bad thing, because that's how we've managed to spread diseases and, ironically, viruses in bees.
And then these guys can feed her, look after her, and then help her get... So you can see this is the queen cell that she hatched from.